Hi BookTube. So let's talk about day 2 of Canada Reads. First of all, Wob Canoe, I loved his shirt, and there was a little joke there that he would, that if you bought a copy of the Yorenda, it would come with a dinner date with him, and I'd be like, yes, I'll buy another copy. Okay, secondly, I am going to be mean. I am. Because this is a competition where people and books need to be judged. And sometimes that involves being mean. And I don't feel bad about being mean to this person because she's mean to a lot of people. And she's a very superficial person and I really don't like her. And in case you can't guess, in case you didn't follow my Twitter feeds for the past few days, I'm talking about Lainey Louie. She is on the show, can't even remember what it's called, but they just gossip. And I really think she's outmatched here. I think she's not nearly as intelligent or able to grasp the themes presented in the books, as well as the other contestants. And the way she just conducts herself, I mean, she starts talking louder and louder, and just kind of like dominating, and she talks over people, and she dismisses all the other books. And all the contestants kind of support each other, except for her. She's like, no, my book's the best. My book's the best. I don't understand your books. My book's better than that. Oh my god, I just want to, reach into my screen and, strangle her. It's so annoying. So I think that this kind of mannerisms are not really suited to a debate of this style, especially on this kind of topic. And the book she's defending, yes, it's a YA. I don't have a problem with... I do have a slight problem with YA. But there is good YA out there, I know there is. But this book isn't. It's not good in any fashion, except if you want to be shocked, read this book. It's a shocking book. That's pretty much all it's good for. But it's called When Everything Feels Like the Movies by Raziel Reed. And I think it really only serves to reinforce negative stereotypes of the LGBT community and about teenagers. Now she was saying, this is how teenagers act and think and all this stuff, and this Craig Kilberger sitting across from her going, what youth have you been hanging out with? Because this is not how the people I hang out with talk. And really, this is, everyone I knew didn't, talk about drugs and sex and language and all this stuff in this kind of manner. I think that this book is actually meant to break barriers, and the characters have to be somewhat likable. And you have to provide more than just inflammatory material that will just reinforce homophobia. So for example, she's 41, and she's a gossip, but she's not as in touch with the youth as, say, Craig Kilberger, who's 32, and his job is to work with youth. His organization is called Free the Children. He works with Me to We. He works in schools. He knows the youth and teenagers, and he's closer in age than she is. Someone on Twitter actually said, sorry, my arm's getting sore. Someone on Twitter actually said, I'm just gonna read it, this is the day a squawking chicken killed an Inconvenient Indian, and you wonder what's wrong with this country. And I completely agree, because her manner just isn't, conducive to this format. She's just really superficial. She even tried to say, the reason she voted off Inconvenient Indian was because it was glib. Oh my god, have you even read the book? I'm sorry, I'm just really passionate about this and I'm really upset. So, a lot of good issues were raised, there was a lot of humor, it's really kind of very well done. But let's talk about the book that was voted off. This was The Inconvenient Indian, A Curious Account of Native People in North America by Thomas King. It's a non-fiction book. Does exactly what it says in the title. And here I just want to talk about Canadian history, and why I think this book is very important. So, Canada has a problem with history. I think we have fallen into our own trap that we believe we are nice people, and that we have nothing in our past to apologize for, when this is definitely not the case. Yes, Thomas King points the finger, and sometimes he points it right at you, the reader. But I think that's what is important, and that's why this book breaks barriers, because he's asking you to realize, you know, what has happened, what is happening, and what has to happen in order to change this, and that you, the reader, are responsible for these things. So Canada, again, we have race issues. People are incredibly racist against Native people. The government is systemically racist. They constantly dismiss Native rights, and this is including the multitudes of Aboriginal women that go missing every year. We need to understand that Canada's history isn't all about Vimy Ridge, Normandy, and Terry Fox. There's more to Canada than that. You know, Canada's history is colonialism. It's turning away German Jews during World War II. It is interning Ukrainian and Japanese citizens. It's residential schools. This is Canadian history. Please acknowledge it. You know, and I think, unfortunately, the Inconvenient Indian was actually voted off for strategic reasons, because the other contestants felt threatened by it. You know, and whether or not I agree with strategic votes or not in this case is a whole other issue. But this is a book that should be taught in every school, especially in the mandatory 10th grade history class. Yes, so please let me know what you thought about Canada Reads Day 2, and remember to keep on reading.